Guys, Kaspa has reached its all-time highs if it comes to hash rate. So that obviously is a great news. I know that all of you are interested into finding out when Kaspa is going to reach its all-time highs in terms of price, and that's something that we will try to determine in this video. So welcome back to the channel, and if you are new, consider subscribing, and of course a quick disclaimer that this video is not financial advice. Now, looking at overall market on a daily, things are looking very juicy, but unfortunately our beloved Kaspa, well, it's small in terms of bubbles, right? Only 1.8%, but still that is an upside. So we've got well, basically Meow and Ape that is around 10, 11%, 13, whatever. And on a weekly time frame, this is how things are looking like. On a weekly, Kaspa is still lagging behind all of these altcoins, which, well, in my opinion, is going to, well, become reverse kind of situation when these altcoins are going to be pulling back. There is a high potential that Kaspa is going to have its run by then, but at the moment we can see that Dogecoin has its run. Anyways, guys, let's go back to the charts. All right, so before we are going to look at Kaspa's chart, let's actually see what is going on with BTC, and let's see where we can find ourselves in terms of BTC, which obviously is driving the whole market. Okay, so this is 4-hourly time frame, and at the moment BTC broke this uptrend, and this 4-hourly candle is going towards the downside. That's how it looks like, at least on short-term picture. Stochastic RSI is showing us such situation, which potentially might gonna mean that this is, well, nearing the pullback, near the bottom on 4-hourly. However, MACD is still showing us, well, continuation of the downside, but that might gonna flip any minute basically. Anyways, let's have a look at the daily very quickly, guys. So on a daily time frame, now it's more clear that we potentially could see a little bit of a pullback. By the way, BTC reached 69.4k, so that obviously is bullish because BTC obviously broke outside of this downtrend. However, stochastic RSI is showing such momentum, and MACD is showing us that we are, let's say, in the mid-range of this well, pump. However, weekly time frame is showing us on the start of this bullish momentum, right? Because we can see that stochastic RSI is basically going towards these overheated levels, just like it was in here, and MACD is basically, well, just crossing bullish, right? So guys, this is just the beginning of this run, I believe. And now in these conditions, knowing that BTC is going to most likely experience some pullbacks, and on a weekly time frame going towards this Q4, that obviously is going to push the whole market towards the upside. The question is that going to push our beloved Kaspa towards the upside or not? I know that these type of videos might gonna be boring, guys. I am expecting higher prices as well, but I guess the diversification is the key if it comes to building your portfolios, guys, right? So of course I'm bullish on Kaspa long term. Well, short term we'll get into that. However, you know, in case if Kaspa is stagnating, then obviously you are invested into, well, let's say meme coins. Although it's not financial advice, it's totally your business if you want to invest in meme coins, strong AI altcoins or whatever. But in this case, you can take out some profits, let's say outside of these other altcoins or BTC, of course, and then roll it back to Kaspa or, you know, Kaspa memes, whatever. Anyways, let's go back to 4-hourly now, and let's have a look how things are going on for 4-hourly for Kaspa. So now, guys, on this short time frame, we can see that Kaspa is basically doing an uptrend. Kaspa is printing higher highs and higher lows, so that obviously is a bullish signal. However, we want bigger pumps. And now stochastic RSI is showing us on 4-hourly that this, well, could be two possible scenarios. We are either going to create another wave towards the upside or proper pullback and then reset on 4-hourly. Let's actually have a look at MACD and let's see what MACD is doing. Of course, guys, you know, this is not necessarily said that if MACD and stochastic RSI is going down, this is going to happen for 100%. These are momentum indicators, but it's definitely worth to look at them. So MACD on 4-hourly is showing us that it's very, very likely that Kaspa is going to reach this short-term level, which is an uptrend, which also serves as a support, and that lays roughly at 13 cents, zero actually to be exact, right? So if Kaspa is going to reach this level, then it's going to continue on its bullish trajectory on small time frame. So we've got higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, and well, then obviously we will see on bigger time frames. So let's go to the daily, guys. So on a daily, the first thing that I see is MACD that has flipped bullish, which is definitely a good signal. We can clearly see that this bullish trend is starting for Kaspa. Stochastic RSI is, well, let's say an overheated area. However, that can stay there for a while and create a couple of waves. So guys, let's actually have a look at the weekly time frame. Let's say that Kaspa really wants to create that bullish cross if it comes to stochastic RSI. However, if it comes to MACD, I guess we'll have to wait for a bit. So guys, let's go to liquidity, because obviously this market is driven by liquidity and of course by lizard people. But anyways, let's go back to liquidity. Let's firstly have a look at BTC's liquidity on a daily. So that's Pionex. So less people are longing Bitcoin, more people are shorting Bitcoin. And now if we are going to go to 7 daily, right, this is something that we have to remember about, guys. Right, we've got 8 billion USD worth of longs for BTC. So let's have a look at the heat map basically. So if I'm going to type BTC, let's say on Binance in, well, let's say 24 hourly, we can clearly see that BTC potentially might gonna retest that 68k $46 to be exact, to flush this whole liquidity and then build up momentum and go towards the upside and try to conquer levels of 70k. However, if we are going to zoom it out to weekly time frame, well, to weekly heat map, we can see that at the moment, at least, we've got liquidity in these levels, right? So people that are basically longing BTC on a longer time frame, right, on a weekly, can potentially experience some flush. And of course, that is going to pull the overall market towards the downside, right? And in this condition, Kaspa potentially might gonna see pullback again, but that's obviously questionable. Let's actually go to Kaspa now on Bybit. This is the biggest liquidity over there on Bybit at the moment, at least. And we've got significant levels of liquidity on a weekly for Kaspa, which also coincides with these very basic technicals, guys, as you can clearly see, right? So MACD, well, let's say just about to go towards the upside, and this blah 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 reach the bottom, which means that this pullback is which means that this pump is very likely. I know that this pump coming back to, let's say, 14 cents is not really ideal, but let's firstly get there and continue on that trajectory of continuing higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, blah blah blah. And then, well, we are going to see if I'm actually going to be controlled by the greed and keep my Kaspa, or I'm going to cash out at this level and then wait for potential pullback. Well, that of course depends on many factors, right? Because in a case where Kaspa is going to finally get listed on Coinbase and Binance, well, after elections, I believe that's more likely, then of course I'm going to keep my holdings, right? But for a short-term cash out, I believe is definitely worth it to take it out at these levels of 14 cents. But of course, guys, I'm just showing what I'm doing, right? You can do whatever the heck you want. This is not financial advice. So now, guys, to conclude, what we are anticipating is Kaspa basically going to this mid-range of, let's say, well, firstly 14 cents, which is going to be this area roughly, with confirmations of a resistance, right, that we've got in here. So if Kaspa is going to see that pump, that is going to be, well, around 11% of healthy pump for Kaspa. However, if Kaspa is about to conquer the mid-range of the whole channel, that's going to be 35%. And if Kaspa is going to reach, well, the top of this whole range, aka ascending channel, that's going to be 86%. Not, of course, mentioning about new price discovery, which I believe Kaspa, well, hopefully is going to reach here. And that also depends on a volume that KRC20 tokens are actually creating. So guys, Nacho is sitting at 74, well, almost 75 million in terms of market cap, and we've got, of course, Casper, Caspian, plenty of these different meme coins basically. So of course, you know, trading these memes definitely is supporting the price of Kaspa, let's say, because the volume is increasing. However, as I said before, we have to wait for Kaspa to actually be listed on these top tier exchanges, which I believe should happen sooner rather than later. But anyways, I don't want to bore you with these guys. Let's quickly have a look at Nacho, what Nacho is doing. And again, guys, this is not financial advice. I'm not telling you to buy Nacho because obviously meme coins are quite risky. So this is where I have degened into my Nacho, and at the moment I'm, well, basically sitting at profits, and I'm not thinking about taking it because obviously this is just a small money for the principle of, you know, this public portfolio, which is sitting at 67.5% roughly of healthy gains. Anyways, if you want to degen into any altcoin or whatever, you can check my links for Pionex in the link section. And now guys, let's have a look at something that I found for you on X, which I believe is also quite important. So shout out to Mr. CryptoCon, and he's basically posting this: a super signal on a monthly volume oscillator comes when Bitcoin volume gets extremely low in a bull market. Here's the last when we've seen this: December 2012, before the 10,000% rise, October 2016, 3.4% rise, and now we've got September, we've got 200%, right? So 2019, 2020 cycle saw no super signal. Guys, we've got this super signal in here, and guys, of course, I'm not saying that BTC is going to see huge gains, right? However, if BTC is, let's say, going to go to level of 100k, 150k, that's definitely going to be a bullish outlook for Kaspa and of course other projects as well. So we definitely have to wait for this bad boy to finally, you know, dip towards the downside and see a proper down. I'm not talking about, you know, just a couple of percent dip, but I believe that if BTC is going to, let's say, retest these levels in here, for example, right, 48% instead of 58, that is definitely going to be juicy, not mentioning about actually conquering these levels of support, right, reaching an actual bottom. So this is the time when I believe Kaspa is going to see that flow. But that of course is going to take a while, and in the meantime I believe, you know, developers are obviously developing the KRC20 ecosystem, and hopefully in the meantime Kaspa is going to get listed on these damn exchanges. I have mentioned about these exchanges so many times, but I hope that you get the point, guys. Anyways, the target for this outbreak for BTC is roughly at 100k. So now guys, we first have to wait for BTC to reach 100k, and then we are going to reevaluate, you know, Kaspa's price action. Obviously it's a little bit too early. On the top of that, we've got US elections that will be initiating the year-end bull run. So far, every pre-election period has been associated with a harbinger of what was about to come. So guys, another post that is basically pointing out, you know, that catalyst that is obviously bullish in halving years, right? These elections which are coinciding with global liquidity cycles, so on and so forth. So we've got 58 presidential election, and BTC went from 700 to 19k, then from 14k to 67, and now from 70. Well, that's a great question, right? So let's see guys how this is going to turn out. I mean, the presidential elections, and after that we are going to be re-evaluating these macro outlooks. However, short term everything is looking good for BTC and altcoins. I know that for Kaspa we want these damn pumps, but I guess patience is the key, because Kaspa is slow mover at the moment. But obviously there is no surprise, because Kaspa actually did outperform every single altcoin, I believe, in bear market. So this is bullish on its own. Anyways guys, looking at USDT dominance on a weekly, right, this is the chart that we have to monitor. Let me actually go back to, let's say, daily time frame, and we can clearly see that this another candle yesterday closed bearishly, and now we've got another, let's say, push towards the upside and retest. So on a weekly time frame, guys, a very important thing is the fact that USDT dominance basically printed a bearish cross on MACD, and it's going towards the proper bottom, which is obviously bullish, because USDT dominance is inversely correlated with BTC and basically all crypto. Also guys, we have to remember about DXY, right? DXY is currently pumping, and I do remind that we do have to anticipate DXY to find resistance at this level of 104 roughly, and then once it's actually going to go towards the downside, then that's going to be definitely much more bullish outlook for crypto space. And also guys, we have to remember about these charts. So we've got total crypto market cap that is excluding top 10 on a weekly time frame. So we can clearly see that altcoins are going towards the upside, right? But of course bubbles are also kind of showing us that too. Well, ape, there you go. So let's see if we are going to close bullishly on a weekly time frame outside of this formation, and then we are going to reevaluate, of course. But I do remind that MACD is looking quite bullish at the moment. So that is another thing. And also guys, we have to look at the others dominance. Guys, one thing is that obviously they are pumping a little bit, these altcoins are excluding top 10. However, dominance is basically at these lows, right? So in this condition, Kaspa or, you know, other altcoins are not going to be doing 10, 20, 25x, because we have have to wait for well, other chart, which is BTC dominance, to actually drop, and then this thing is going to go up, and this is probably going to be the time when we should be taking profits, let's say at the middle of this pump of dominance, obviously, and then probably at the top, guys. But I will be letting you know when I'm cashing out both of my portfolios, private and public. Okay, guys, remember, nothing in this video is financial advice. These are just my opinions about this market. I hope that this helps. If it does, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, peace and love, crypto.